All right. Hey, today we're here with one of the success stories. And it's fun because Kenny and I go way back, all the way to high school. I'm sure I'm not supposed to say it on a coaching program or whatever, but I may have had a beer or two before 21 with Kenny, at a
Make it
party or two.
happen.
Yeah, back in high school. We both played baseball together. I have a brother that he knows really well also. And then long story short, and what matters for today's call or today's, session or whatever we're doing here, it's the Zoom. But I wanted to have Kenny on as a success story of kind of, stuck in the 9 to 5er for a long time. And then, came in with our group, with the coaching that is part of our group, and he knows what we teach. And without me going into depth, because that's not what we're here for. We're here for you to hear from Kenny and his story. Very successful, works less hours than before, controls his schedule way better than before, and literally makes more money than before because of real estate. So with that, Kenny, I'm going to shut up for most of the rest of the time. And I would love for you to walk us through, what has made you successful, and I'll jump in if it makes sense.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Russell. And just a quick little backstory, like you were saying, I was basically gone from the house for 12 hours a day, working a job that for the most part I hated for 28 and a half years before I decided to get off the hamster wheel and jump in to do real estate full time. Before I jumped in full time, I was with another agency where there was a lot of education, but there was no action. I was there for about a year, and then Russell had mentioned EXP to me, and I decided to jump into EXP at that time, and I'm glad I never looked back. Just the education and the support here is amazing. Jumping into what I do on a daily basis is I do three things. I do farming in my local area. I have a niche, which is pre-foreclosures and distressed properties, and I keep in touch with my sphere. Um, Good example with my farming. These are the ones I did last night. I'm doing about 250 letters per week out to my farm. I have different strategies I go about with my farm, depending on which neighborhood I'm working on at any given time. As far as my niche, I love doing distressed properties, especially pre-foreclosures, notice of trustee sales, is because those people, they're hard deals, but those people really appreciate what you do at the end of the day. When you save somebody, when you close escrow with them, the way that they look at you and how happy that they are that you stepped in to keep them from losing their house to the bank is a very rewarding thing over the paycheck itself. As far as my sphere of influence, I do make calls to them. My sphere of influence is about roughly 250 to 300 people. Reach out to them every day. Not a lot, maybe 3 to 5 phone calls to those folks a day. One thing that I was very afraid of when I first got into real estate was putting my face on a camera to do a video. I was just petrified of it. I was like, I am not doing that. So I eventually did, and it is huge. Putting yourself on video daily or at least 3 to 4 days a week is huge. It keeps your sphere of influence engaged with you. And I have a listing that I got the listing agreement signed about 3 weeks ago, and we're kind of helping this guy get his house ready for the market. But I sent him a letter, and he kept the letter from August. And then he started following me on social media because my cards actually have my Instagram handle on them. So he started following me on social media and he was watching my videos. I do like a very hyper local real estate report every week. I do preview of vacant houses, things like that. And basically, what he told me was by the time he got done watching those and the letter, before he called me, he felt like he already knew me. So that call was a come and list me call. I didn't have to call him. I didn't have to go knock his door. He felt like he knew me from social media. He appreciated the letter I sent him with the value that it had in it. And he gave me a come list me call, and we're going to take this thing live on the 16th of this month.
Very cool. And Man, there's so much there already. By the way, today's the 5th, so it sounds like you're taking that listing in 11 days from today,
Yes, sir. Ready to
which
go.
which is super cool. Um, 3 to 5 calls today with your sphere. You just sent out some letters. What are did you get the letter from Alma or from somebody else, or did you create your own?
I create my own. I have different strategies I use as I go along, depending on what kind of property it is. Like the letter for a rural property with, say, like an aging owner is way different than like a first time buyer or sort of like a move up type situation in maybe like one of the less expensive neighborhoods. The letters are completely different. What I'll normally do is I'll bullet point it and I'll plug it into ChatGPT and let that do it, and I'll go in and I'll add it or subtract from whatever ChatGPT spits out at me.
Yeah, I use ChatGPT all the time. And then what helps you get over the fear of getting in front of the camera?
Just action, baby. Just action. You just got to do it. I did a boot camp 2 years ago with Randy Bird in our organization, and basically he made us do it. You had to do it.
That's
Period.
cool.
Had to. He was watching you. Basically he knew when you were going to do it or not. So I was like, you know what? If I'm in this boot camp, I'm going to put my best foot forward and learn as much as I can. I better do everything that is being taught. And I did that. And now it's like probably some people wish I wasn't on camera quite as much, but I don't mind it now. I'd do it right now. No problem.
Yeah. It's funny when so I totally agree with you. They say better is way better than, or sorry, done is way better than perfect,
Right.
right? Just get it done and move on to the next one. As a matter of fact, you can screw up 3 or 4 in a row and nobody cares. So they just get less views, right? Like who cares? Go on to the next one. There's going to be another one that's fantastic that, somebody's going to connect with. And to your point, the really cool thing about working a geo farm, when you are doing regular updates, you're connecting with people, especially when your videos start to trend locally in the local area, people already know who you are. And it's almost eerie, right, when you meet them, because they already know you, but you don't really know them. And so it's that first time where somebody's like, oh, hey Kenny, how you doing? I can't wait to list with you. It's been fun, the last few weeks. And you're like, you have not talked to that person one time,
Mhm.
but they definitely know you. They know your personality, they know your name, and they're ready to list with you. But it is a little bit of a shocker that first time.
Something else that's cool too is you can watch. What I normally do is I'll do my real estate report. I do it on Thursdays. Every Thursday, I don't miss. I'm very consistent. That's the key to consistency. So I'll do the report and I'll kind of see how it does on my business page, and I share it to my personal page, and I watch and see how it's hitting with like my sphere and like people follow my business page, and the ones that actually hit pretty well, I'll put some ad spend behind it and I'll target the area. So
Mm.
basically, right then and there, I mean, you're getting 4,000 views in your farm.
That is exactly what we teach in the geo farming piece. Test it on your Facebook business, test it on your personal. If it's working well, that's your ad for your geo farm.
Yeah.
That's your ad, because it's, people that know, love, and trust you already are liking it, right? And those are probably the hardest people oftentimes,
Yeah.
So if they're loving it, you need to tweak it a little bit for your ad spend to nail your geo farm. So be it. Would you do me a favor too? And I know you did I thought, a fantastic job talking about how crappy that last job was. 12 hours a day, 28 and a half years, didn't love it, stuck behind a desk. Tell me a little bit about how your life has changed.
Basically, my life has changed a lot in the fact that now, especially being with EXP, my my spare room is my office. So I get my morning routines out of the way, whatever your morning routine is, whether it's workout or whatever, and then you can just step in and start working. And as long as you do stay consistent and you have a plan of what you're going to do, you don't need to work 8 hours a day. You can work 4, 5, 6 hours a day. And I have found this is huge. I did really, really good last year. But I told Russell, I said, I could have done a lot better. If I were to put in another hour or two a day, imagine where that could have been. But the biggest thing is you make your own schedule. You have some freedom. If there's a day where you have to go handle something or you want to go watch a ball game, you go do it. But next day, you better make it up.
Yeah, I know we're both from Northern California, Kenny and I. And one of the coolest things is I bought 4 season tickets to the Major League Baseball team that just moved here. And I called Kenny to see if he wanted to partner, and it was too late. He'd already bought 2. and we're big baseball guys. So yeah, so the Sacramento / Oakland A's are here. Whenever we got pro baseball, all of us said we're going to go get tickets, but now, you have time. If you really wanted to go watch 81 games this year, you could. Whereas with that old job, no way, no way.
Not a chance. In fact, my plan is I'm going to catch every Wednesday afternoon game I can. And with that old job, especially with a very overbearing boss, I might add, getting a day off even when I was like very, very sick was not happening.
So cool. Well, Kenny, if there's, I mean, thank you. It sounds like you're staying connected with your sphere of influence. Social media is a big thing. You have that letter. I might even ping you for it later so we can get a copy, which I know nobody's afraid to share. Yep, there it is. It's definitely not an EXP coaching program, but of course, you and I both are in EXP and we love it. This coaching program is open to everybody and we will freely share with everybody. And I thank you so much for your time today. I love your story. It warms my heart. I'm glad that we're going to be able to see some games together. I'm glad that your life has changed. Your wife gets to see you more. The dog business of hers is going better because you're more around. So super cool.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Russell.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.